In this video, we're going to learn how to create gradients. Gradients mean that we are creating some kind of smooth transitions between different colors. And I will give our website a nice and professional look. So, at the moment we're using the same source code as the div and span file again. And we're going to be starting with the, we're going to be looking at the Facebook div mainly. First of all, we're going to get rid of the background color. Okay. And let's go for a standard color. Okay, because if it's white, we can't see it for now. All right, so now if we want to define some gradients, there are different types of gradients. We can go for a linear gradients, and we can also go for a radial gradients. So let's start with the linear one. The syntax is background, and then if we want to go for the standard syntax, is going to be linear gradient. Okay. So what we need to specify here is at least two colors. So for instance, if we go for blue and white, basically what we see in here is that we're having a gradient from blue to white, and by default it goes from top to bottom. Okay, let's go back to the white color for text. Okay, so we just say that this is the standard syntax, which will work for Google Chrome, for instance. But some browsers, they will need a specific syntax. And usually, you would need to duplicate the same property with the other browser's syntax. So for instance, if you want this to work for Safari, for instance, then we need to duplicate the line, so Control D, and we need to add minus sign WebKit minus sign before linear. Okay, if we are developing, let's duplicate again. If developing for Opera, then we need to add minus sign O minus sign, and if we are developing for Firefox, then it's going to be Moz. All right. So just bear that in mind. For now, we're going to stick to the standard way. So I'm just going to comment these ones for now. Okay. So let's go back to our property, our standard property, and now we're gonna try something else. If I comment this one first, we're gonna try 3 colors rather than 2 colors and just see what happens. So you can see there that we're going from the blue to the white to the orange. Okay. So if you don't like the standard way of going from top to bottom, you can change that. So basically we can try, so just before the first color, if we say to left, so what happens here is that we're gonna be going from the right to the left. So the first color is gonna appear on the right, and then the last color is going to appear on the left. Okay, there are other choices you can have. So if you want, you can make the gradients go from the or to bottom left. Okay, so the last color is going to be at the bottom left. Okay. Also, you can make the default top to bottom rotate by a certain angle. So if we say 90 degrees, so that means that we are going from the standard, which is top to bottom, and we are rotating anti-clockwise. So let's see how the standard looks like. So the standard goes blue, white, orange. If we rotate this anti-clockwise by 90 degrees, then we're expecting the blue to appear on the left, then the white, then the orange. And that's what we get. All right. Okay. Now we're going to try something else. We're going to try to use colors with opacity. And for that, we're going to be setting the colors using the RGBA value. So if we choose here to left, okay, and choose only 2 colors. So we want to go from the blue transparent on the right to blue clear on the left. So we're going to use the RGBA value. Okay. And for the blue, it's going to be 00255. And we want to go from a transparency of 0. So this is for the opacity. Okay. And we go into the same color, 255, but this time we want to go to an opacity of 1. Okay, so what's happening here is that we're going from the blue to the blue, but from the blue with 0 opacity to the blue with 1 opacity. So, and if we change that to 0.5, for instance, you can see that we are going from half transparent blue to full blue. Okay. Now we're going to move to the radial gradient. So the syntax is similar to linear gradients, but we're just going to change linear gradient to radial gradient. So background radial gradients, and then we can just set the colors. So let's go from blue to white. So you can see that the first color is going to be the one appearing at the center, and then the second color is going to be on the edges. And you can choose 3 colors if you want to. Okay. Also, you can choose how much space each of these colors is going to take using a percentage. If I duplicate that, let's comment the first one. Basically, we can say, for instance, we want the blue to take 5%, and we want the white to take 15%, and we want the orange to take, for instance, 80%. Okay. Also, if we want the center or the shape of the gradient to take shape of a circle, we can do that as well, just by starting here with circle and then telling what colors we want to go for. So that's how gradients work. They're quite powerful in terms of making your website have a nice and good looking design. But bear in mind that the cross-browser compatibility is really important, and you need to take into account the different syntaxes you can have for other browsers you're developing for. All right. In the next video, we're going to be looking at 2D transforms.